Happy Queer Readathon, everyone. I, for better or worse, decided that I was going to stack my TBR with mostly library books, and I think looking at things, it's for the worse. They no longer have a few of the books, and the one that they do have, I have on hold. So I have Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation, Volume 1, the book. I did, I think, read the first 3 chapters back in February. I will be restarting it because that was a while ago. I also have Heaven Official's Blessing, Volume 1, which I will be reading. And I think that's all we got right now. So, did not actually start yesterday. We got in The Girl from the Sea by Molly Knox Ostertag, and Hill followed with us, which wasn't on the TBR actually, but if I can get to that this month, I will. Well, this readathon. There's also, it did come in time for the readathon. Gender, a graphic guide, I think, by Meg John Barker, maybe Baker. So no worries about having enough books now. I'm going to do The Girl from the Sea because it's a graphic novel and it's going to be the fastest and easiest. But I really should get to the Dan May. So I did not get as far as I thought I would with The Girl from the Sea, but I'm really enjoying the art. It's really pretty, and in theory I like, that kind of fairy tale thing of, oh, this dress made of stars. I don't tend to enjoy the execution, and this isn't the same because this is purely a modesty thing, but this is one of the first, or at least in recent months, where I've really loved it. But fun discovery. I'm part of 2 library systems, and on the first I had to finish an audiobook today, Masters of Death. It's also queer, but it also doesn't count because I started it before the readathon. If you like angst, you might really like this. It is like, they're immortals, so there's a long time and a lot of grief and pain, and it's written wonderfully. I just really adore that narrator. But I also have If You Still Recognize Me by Cynthia So. It is also the audiobook. I don't know if that would necessarily fit any prompts, but my concern at the start of not having any books is just completely blown out of the water now. So, I always forget how funny that is every time I start it. I think this is the 3rd one. I don't have a great track record, but it's always a nice surprise. I did finish The Girl from the Sea yesterday. It was nice. I liked that it was more of a bittersweet ending. It feels like an early work though. It brought up a lot of, I like that she was complicated. She was hurt and withdrawn, and that made her hurt people around her, and I'm glad that it kind of wanted to go into that. But, you know, the brother was also acting out because family issues. She was withdrawing from her friends because she didn't want to be out and she wanted to spend the time with her girlfriend, and then her and her girlfriend had this falling out. And it feels like you have these really interesting conflicts and they're not really getting resolved. So I still really like the art and I still like the story, and I'm still interested in Ostertag's other work, but it felt like an early one. So I have not been great at this vlog so far. I'm still making my way through Hell Followed with Us. But I remembered that I actually have a book that needs to go back to the library today, which is this. You Just Need to Lose Weight and 19 Other Myths About Fat People by Aubrey Gordon. So I'm going to do that now. And I don't think with everything that the Readathon stands for that it's kind of restricting specifically to out queer authors, but I might rethink Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. It's raining now. Really wish I'd brought a jacket. I don't think I'm going to finish Hell Followed with Us today, so I've decided to pick this one up. It's another graphic novel, Pixels of You. I think this is about two photographers kind of competing for a place. One of them is an AI. I've known about Pixels of You for a few years now, and I'm actually mad at myself for not prioritising it before now. I really like that conversation that they had about friction, and I think that's one of the best elements of the story. The other, of course, being Doyle's art, which is stunning. This is the best one that I can find, but the way that Doyle uses colours is stunning, especially in the sequences of Indira's nightmares. That absolutely wonderful, highly recommend. Yeah, I really liked it, and I would really like my own coffee now. A little bit of a spoiler, I guess. The relationship does make its way to romantic, and I like that. I think I was personally a little bit more compelled by first the rivalry and then the friendship. Like I said, friction is where it's best, and while I do really like the progress of the relationship, it does that thing that I really find annoying where it ends on like the start of the relationship, which it works, and it works well. I just personally am like, I would like to see it continue developing because it's been fantastic seeing it develop through the other stages. So I wanted more from it. Is not the worst thing. It's more compliment than criticism, but yeah, probably the most obvious thing in the world to everyone else but queer graphic history is a graphic novel. It was not clear to me, however, and so I took out another book from the library, which is Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. And technically this counts as most recently acquired, so I'm gonna read this. So this is a very beautiful graphic novel. However, this is one of the most deliberate panels. The colour scheme is visually stunning and arresting, and most of the time it doesn't really seem to have a purpose beyond looking pretty, which I really want to say it's fine, but it was really disappointing. And I know what it means when it says love shouldn't take, but love is also, like all relationships, a give and take thing. I guess, I mean, I think that's kind of what my criticism boils down to, that it's mostly there, but not quite. But I think it handled the relationship really well, and honestly, I don't really care about much else beyond that. The rest of it's all just personal feelings, and that's just me. How Forward With Us has slowed down a little bit. We're learning who the rest of the cast is, which will be interesting, hopefully. But right now, not so much. So I wanted to, as like the last clip, show you my favourite illustration so far from Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. It is a much funnier book, I think, overall, at least as far as I've gotten, than I think it gets a lot of credit for. But it is also like really awesome in this way.